Unit 2, Lesson 6. So, skills maintenance is page 65. Go ahead, pause the video, and start working on that page. Alright, now that we're done with this page, let's go through it real quick. So, we're just filling in the missing numbers so that the equation is true. So, for this one, 40 is equal to 35 plus 2 plus something. Okay, so as of right now, 35 plus 2 is 37, so 37 plus 3 is equal to 40. Okay, number 2 there. 31 plus what is equal to 33 plus 2? 33 plus 2 is going to give me 35. So 31 plus 4 is 35. So 4 is our missing value. Number 3, 27 plus what is equal to 26 plus 2, which is 28. And 27 plus 1 is equal to 28. So number 4 then, 48 minus 3, which is 45, is equal to 50 minus what? 50 minus 5 is equal to 45. All right, so then number 5, we got 3 times 4, or 12, is equal to 14 minus what? Which is 14 minus 2. Number 6, 3 times what is equal to 13 minus 1? 13 minus 1 is 12, and 3 times 4 is equal to 12. So 4 was our missing value. Number 7, 100 plus what is equal to 90 plus 10 plus 10? Okay, 90 plus 10, that's 100. 100 plus 10, that's 110. Okay, so that right side is equal to 110. 100 plus 10 is equal to the 110. Okay, finally number 8, 16 minus 8, which is 8, is equal to 4 plus what? 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. Okay, we're going to have to use these types of ideas here for our lesson today, okay, on our apply skills. So our objective for today, work back and forth between algebraic equations and numeric equations to gain flexibility in algebraic thinking. Okay, what we were dealing with up here were numeric equations. So we're going to try to write those as algebraic equations where we have variables. Okay. So, for example, a numeric equation here, 10 plus 9 is equal to 19. As you can tell, it's all numbers, okay? And there's an equal sign, so that's why it's called a numeric equation. Now, we want to work back and forth between numeric and algebraic. So if we want to represent that equation algebraically, we need to write it in some way where we have a variable as well, okay? So for them, they just left the 10 plus 9, okay? But now for the 19, they just wrote it in a way that had a variable. Okay, so in this case, 11 plus 7, that gives us at 18, but that's where they said the plus b. So in this case, the b is representing the 1, but we write it so that it's representing as a variable. Okay, so in this case, let's go back real quick. B is equal to 1. If we replace b is with 1, 11 plus 7 plus 1 is equal to that 19. Okay, so another numeric equation, 3 times 11 is 33. Let's write it as an algebraic equation. So if we want to do this, let's just keep the left side equal to 11, or 3 times 11. Now, for the next side, on the right side, I just need to write it in a way that can represent 33. Okay, so you can do it using adding, you can use it using subtraction, multiplying, dividing, whatever. It does not matter. So for this case, let's go ahead. Let's just pick a number. I'm going to pick something close to 33. I'm going to say something like 30. Okay, so we could, if we want to write it as an algebraic equation, we need to say plus, minus, multiply something, a variable. Okay, so I'm going to say plus, let's say x. Now let's use a, plus a. Okay, so in this case, we know the left side is 33. Right side is 30 plus a. Then a would be 3, because 30 plus 3 is equal to that 33. All right, so apply skills. You're going to use that skill. Go ahead, pause the video, and work on that page 66. All right, so here we have we're going to write our algebraic equation and then the variable and its value. Okay, so our numeric equation in number 1 is 48 plus 4 equals 52. So I'm just going to say 48 plus 4. Okay, we can leave it that way. Now we know it has to equal 52, so I could say something like 50 plus b. Okay, the left side's equal to 52, so I need to make the right side equal to 52. And the b value that's going to cause that to be 52 is 2. Okay, so now this isn't the only answer you can have. These answers can vary so much. Okay, so it's not going to be one specific answer. So like on number 2, 65 minus 5. Okay, we know it's equal to 60, so I can say something like 20 times x. Okay, like 20 times what is 60? 20 times 3 is 60. Okay, so that's a little more difficult way of thinking about it. The easiest route is always to do that plus or minus that variable. Okay, so like here, we got 18. Okay, just keeping that left side the way it is. And then let's say just a way to represent 18 with an algebraic equation. Let's say 20 minus a. Okay, 20 minus what is 18? 20 minus 2. So a is 2 in that case. Okay, same idea for the rest of them. Your answers will vary. Okay, so if you ever have any questions on this, just ask me to see if it is a algebraic equation that does represent your numeric equation. Okay, so I'm not going to go through those last 3, but if you have questions, make sure you ask, because again, all those answers can vary. All right, so problem solving. We're going to solve proportions in real world context. Okay, page 154. Okay, we're just going to go through the problem solving together. If you want to give it a try, pause the video and go ahead and give it a try. But so number 1, Linda plays on her high school softball team. She plays third base, and she is a decent batter. She makes 5 hits out of every 15 times at bat. Over the season, she hits 30 hits. Okay, how many times in the season does she miss the ball? Okay, now when we look at this, okay, I'm going to go and highlight the important information. 5 hits every 15 at bats, and she gets 30 hits over the season. Okay, so the information we're given, the more important one is that 30 hits, because I know that. Okay, so how many times in a season does she miss the ball? Okay, so we're given the number of hits, so that's this thing that we're going to be using for sure. So number of hits is 5. Okay, we're going to use that. And now if it's 5 hits out of every 15 times at bat, that means she has 10 misses. For every 5 hits, she has 10 misses. Now, over the season, okay, because this is where the question is coming, how many times in the season does she miss the ball? We know that she gets 30 hits. Okay, so she has 30 hits. We don't know the next value. Okay, that's what the question is asking. Okay, so in this case, we're going to use like our proportions. We got 5 can go into 30, okay, or 10, and then 10 goes into x. So that's our horizontal method, or we can use our vertical method. Okay, so like horizontally, 5 times 6 is 30, or you can think 5 times 2. Either way is going to get us to a value of x is equal to 60. Okay, so over the course of the season, she had 60 misses. All right, so now for the number of hits. Now this next question is asking how many times was Linda at bat during the season? Okay, so for the number of hits, Linda had 5 hits, and she was at bat 15 times. Okay, so that's where we can just straight up use that ratio that we were given. All right, so now over the course of the season, we know that she had 30 hits. Okay, so we can use that horizontal strategy again, okay, because we don't know that missing value. That's the one that's unknown that we could represent with a variable. Okay, now horizontally, I know I can multiply by 6. Okay, or again, you can use your vertical. Either method works, and we're going to multiply by 3 if we use the vertical, which in this case would be 90. So over the course of the season, Linda had a total of 90 at-bats. All right, so for the next one, Jerome is a wide receiver on his high school football team. He catches 2 passes out of every 6 passes thrown to him. during a game. Over the season, Jerome caught 30 passes. Okay, so if again we were given the number of hits, okay, this case we're getting number of passes, okay. So then here we're going to see, or we should say caught passes, okay, number of caught passes. That's the one we know. That second line is always going to be what the question is for, okay. This is what we know the most of, though. Number of caught passes. Okay, so then how many passes did Jerome not catch? So in this case, number of not catch passes. And then, okay, so number of caught passes. Jerome, he catches 2 passes. So he caught 2 passes for every 6 passes thrown to him. Okay, so that's the number of times it was thrown to him. So if he caught 2 of them, that means he missed 4 of them. Okay, so now over the course of the season, Jerome caught 30 passes. Okay, so now this is the one that we don't know. So again, vertical is probably going to be the easiest method in this case. So times 2, 60, 30 times 2 is 60. Okay, so Jerome, how many passes did Jerome not catch over the season? Jerome did not catch 60 passes. All right, so in the next question, how many total passes were thrown to Jerome during the season? So number of passes thrown to. Okay, so then we're going to use that again, 2 passes out of every 6 passes thrown to him. So he caught 2, and then he had 6 passes thrown to him. Okay, again, above we were talking about not catches and catches. So 6 is that total number of passes, which is what we were talking about in this case. So we're going to use that 30 again here. And again, I would use that vertical strategy here. Times 3, which is going to give you 90 passes. So Jerome had 90 passes thrown to him. All right, so in the next one, I already filled in some of them. Again, in this case, Cam is a quarterback on the high school team. He completes 4 out of 8 passes he throws. A completed pass is one that is caught. In 5-game pass, Cam completes 36 passes. So Cam completes 36 passes. That is the one thing we for sure know. So that's why number of complete passes is in both. Okay, and then in the question, how many passes did Cam not complete over the 5 games? Okay, we're getting that from the question. Okay, so in this case, number of complete passes, he gets 4 out of 8 passes he throws. Okay, so meaning 4 are missed. Okay, so again, those 2 things should add up to 8. Okay, because that's how many throws he passes. All right, so now over the course of the season, he completes 36. And then we don't know how many he does not complete. But if you noticed, okay, using our vertical or horizontal, I'm going to use that vertical, and it's just times 1. So in this case, it's 36 not complete passes. Okay, so in the second part, number of not complete passes, we know that one. Number of total passes now. For every 4 complete passes, he throws a total of 8 passes. So in this case, using our vertical, we're going to use times 2. 36 times 2 is 72. So he throws a total of 72 total passes. Okay, last one I filled in completely already. Okay, in this case, Brian is a professional hockey player. Hockey is a hard game for scoring goals because the goal is small and the goalies are big. Brian makes a goal in 1 out of every 10 shots he takes. In 3 games, Brian makes 4 goals. Okay, so that number of goals is kind of that big thing that we know. Okay, so number of goals, it's in both problems. So how many misses does Brian have in the 3 games? Okay, so every goal that Brian makes, okay, 1 goal that Brian makes, he has 9 misses. Once again, 1 out of every 10 shots. Okay, so what means 1 goal, 9 misses. And then we also know in that 3-game period or span, he scores 4 goals. Okay, so that's where we're getting that. And then this is the part that would be unknown. Okay, so using that horizontal strategy in this case, I would say times 4 times 4. 9 times 4 is that 36. So he has 36 misses in that 3-game span. Okay. Second part of that question: how many total shots at the goal did Brian have in the 3 games? Again, we know he scored 1 goal and 4 goals over that 3 games period. Now we're talking the total shots. Okay, total shots, number of shots. So that's what we're talking about. So that initial ratio, that 1 out of every 10 shots, we can use that one here. 1 out of every 10 total shots. So, and then in this case, in the 3 games, he scores 4 goals, which took him a total of 40 shots. And the way we found that 40, because we were given this 1, 2, 3, we were given those, so we had to use either vertical or horizontal worked here. I think horizontal worked a little easier. 10 times 4 is that 40. So 40 total shots. All right, that is lesson 6. Make sure that you complete your lesson 6 homework. Okay, so if you have any questions, make sure you are asking in class. Otherwise, have a good day.